nights can end just like the sky. After storms, the sun will rise. We light the way, we lift the dark with every step. We leave a mark, you're not alone, no, not today. It's Mental Health Week, let's light the way. Let's light the way, let's light the way. Let's light the way, let's light the way. Voices trembling, walls they fall. Together we can face it all. A spark of hope, a hand to hold. Even shadows can't be cold. Every tear, every fear, we're stronger when we're near. One voice, one light, let's make it shine tonight. We light the way, we lift the dark with every step. We leave a mark, you're not alone, no, not today. It's Mental Health Week, let's light the way. Let's light the way, let's light the way. Let's light the way, let's light the way. Every tear, every fear, we're stronger when we're near. One voice, one light, let's make it shine tonight. We light the way, we lift the dark with every step. We leave a mark, you're not alone, no, not today. It's Mental Health Week, let's light the way. Let's light the way, let's light the way. Let's light the way, let's light the way. Every breath, take a stand. We're together hand in hand. Hope and healing start today. When we care in every way. You're not alone, we're here to stay. It's Mental Health Week, let's light the way.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You have just heard a song that reminds us of something truly powerful. That even in the darkest moments, hope can rise again. And none of us ever have to face life storms alone. Welcome to Mental Health Week, a special YouTube series by Lions Clubs in New Jersey dedicated to awareness, understanding, and support for emotional well-being. As Lions, we have always been there when world needed us, helping communities see, heal, and rebuild. But mental health reminds us that service begins not only with action, but with empathy, with listening, caring, and standing together. Through this series, we will hear stories, insights, and experiences that help us understand how compassion can be the bridge to healing. Because when we open our hearts, we help others open theirs too. So as we begin this journey together, let's remember we light the way with hope, with courage, and with care. That's our promise this week and every week. Here is Lion Easy to introduce our speaker today.
Good evening, everyone. It's my honor to introduce our guest for today's episode, past International Director Jennifer Ware from Rapid River, Michigan. PID Jennifer's story is deeply rooted in Lionism. She grew up in a Lions family, Her father became a lion when she was just 3 years old, and by the time she was 7, he was serving as district governor. It's no surprise that she was raised in the true spirit of service. In the 1990s, Jennifer became a member of the Brampton Township Days River Area Lions Club, a club her mother helped to charter. From that very moment, she began shaping a remarkable journey of leadership and compassion. A psychiatric nurse by profession, Jennifer brings a special understanding of the importance of emotional and mental well being, something that aligns beautifully with her focus this week. During her term as district governor, she introduced the Kids Side program to Michigan's Upper Peninsula, ensuring early vision screening for children, a legacy that continues to make a difference. Elected to the Lions Club International Board of Directors at the 99th International Convention in Fukuoka, Japan in 2016, PID Jennifer served on the Service Activities Committee and later on the Long Range Planning Committee. Since completing her term, she has continued to serve at the global level, including as LCIF Campaign 100 co-chair for Constitutional Area 1, as part of the virtual telethon committee, and most recently as LCIF trustee. Jennifer and her husband, Lion Jeff, are both passionate about service. And as they often say, the best part of being a lion is not only helping others, but meeting so many great lions who share that same spirit. And of course, life has brought them some new joy recently. They are the proud first time grandparents of a brand new baby in April. So, congrats, Lion Jennifer and Lion Jeff.
Thank you so much, Lion Izzy, for that wonderful introduction. And thank you for acknowledging my father and my mom, who was a pioneer in 1990 when Women in Lionism was only 3 years old. As you stated, I do have a little bit of a background in psychiatric nursing. So I recently retired after 37 years of nursing, but I spent the last 27 years in outpatient mental health, in the community mental health. And I have to say that one of the first things that I really learned about as a mental health nurse was about me. It was why I was reacting the way I was, why I felt the way I did. And I think one of the biggest things that I really learned is every one of us around the world has some form of mental illness, whether it be a little bit of depression, a little bit of anxiety, fear of crowds, whatever that may be. It's not really until those types of feelings debilitate us that we're looking at a mental illness and may need to talk to our doctors or our nurse practitioners or our physician's assistants to see maybe if there's something else that we should do, like speak with a therapist or possibly go on medication. So today we're mainly going to talk about mental wellness and mental health. And there's a big difference, like I said, between mental health and mental illness. Mental health is when we take care of ourselves. It's no different than our physical health. If we don't eat right, if we don't sleep right, if we don't take in enough fluids or too many fluids, we don't feel right. Well, the head can't work without the body, and the body can't work without the head. So this is a head to toe wellness that we want to talk about. I've told a lot of my friends and a lot of lions that there's going to be those days where you just don't feel like getting out of bed. That's okay. If you get out of bed and you eat for the day, you're golden. You did something. Now, you may not have gotten up and cleaned the house and did the 5 things that were on your list, but that's okay. It's when you don't get out of bed. It's when that list piles up and it becomes a problem. An example today is in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's very dreary. It's rained a little bit on and off. I had some ideas that I was going to do and get things done, but I kind of feel like the weather. And I sat on the couch and started knitting and said, this is okay. My body needs this today. Tomorrow, the sun's going to be out, and I know my energy is going to be back up. So I'm very excited that Lions Clubs International has taken on the Mental Health and Wellness Initiative almost exactly a year to go to the day. Our then president, Fabricio Oliveira from Brazil, started this initiative. And what was noted through the Lions and the Leos in the last couple of years is ever since the pandemic, there has been a lot more mental unwellness. A lot more people are feeling insecure or they're going hungry, and there's just a lot of uncertainty. And during the pandemic, we didn't sit down and really talk with each other because we had to maintain that social distancing of 6 feet or more, or we had to wear masks and you couldn't see our reactions other than our eyes. And so some of the children going to school are really starting to learn how to interact, how to read social cues, how to put down maybe their electronics and again, interact. For a lot of us, we love to sit and talk. And I don't know about you, but ever since I have started texting, I don't like calling anymore because texting is so much faster. So with all of the concerns going on, our Lions Clubs International sent out a survey a couple of years ago to Lions and Leos, and it asked about mental wellness and mental health. And through that, they decided to initiate this initiative. So this week, starting on October 4th, running through October 12th, Lions Clubs International is supporting a service week, a global service week of mental health. And I was invited by past council chair Mahesh to talk with you a little bit, give you a little bit of my background, talk a little bit of what I've seen, and encourage the Lions of the world to be advocates for mental health and mental wellness. Now, when I say that, a lot of us are saying, what do I do? And even as a nurse working in the mental health arena, I thought, what do I do? But I really sat and I thought about it, and it takes us back to the diabetes global cause. We don't have to be healthcare professionals. We just have to be Lions who are compassionate and want to educate and be there for others. So Lions International is making all kinds of resources for the Lions of the world to share. We here have some information specifically regarding Constitutional Area 1, which is the United States and the affiliate islands, which are around the Bahamas and the Trinidad-Tobago area islands. Those resources have not only come from Lions Clubs International, but we also have received some through lionsusa.org. And Lions USA has specifically looked at numbers and resources for us Lions in the United States. Daily, they will be sharing things on Facebook. They're going to have different postings on Facebook. So again, that's Lions USA, which stands for Lions of the United States and affiliates. So lionsusa.org. And our current push is for the hashtag Let's Talk About It, or hashtag Talk About It. We all need an ear sometimes to vent, to share something exciting, to share something sad. We don't always want to hear, it's going to get better. In our hearts, we know it will, but sometimes we just need to share, and we just need that listening ear. We just need that friend to talk about it. So I'm here to encourage all of you to go to lionsusa.org, look at Lions USA on Facebook, look up the health and well-being on Lions Clubs International. Bring these informational resources to your club, to your area. even if it's just printing off some of the things, and when you go to the stores, ask if you can put it in the window, or ask if you can put it in the restaurant bathrooms on the mirrors, so that people have somewhere that they can reach out as needed. There's a lot of great things that people can access without having to give the details of who they are, because not everybody wants to admit that they're struggling. And one of the other big things that we're recommending this weekend, and we're encouraging everyone, so you know that person you think about that, oh, I haven't talked to them in a few days, few months, maybe even a couple of years. This week, we challenge you, reach out to them, say hi, see how they're doing, and let's reconnect, and let's help everyone near and dear to us with their mental health and their well-being. So thank you, Lion Mahesh, for the time. Lion Izzy, are there any questions that we may have that have come through?
Let me start with my own question. Lions have always been addressing the visible needs of the community. May it be the hunger, vision, disaster relief, and the list goes on. Mental health is less visible. So, what inspired Lions International to make mental health a key priority area?
Again, I think a lot of it came out when a couple of years ago they sent out the mental health and wellness questionnaire to see what the Lions and the Leos thoughts were on that. And it went out to all of the constitutional areas. There were over 17,000 responses. And from that, they decided to move forward. International President Fabricio decided to move forward with this initiative and started that last October. And what's great is that the age range from the Leos through the Lions gave us an incredible perspective of how differently the different generations look at mental wellness, or even where we live. I live in a very rural area, and I might go 3 months without seeing my neighbor. But when I see their light on at night, I know that they're home and they're okay. So this initiative has just really helped us look around us and be more cognizant. I know that during the pandemic, one of the things that our Lions Club did is we put little goodie bags together, little thank you bags for adult foster care homes. There were a lot of people that were talking about the nursing home staff, the assisted living staff, the hospital staff. We actually even delivered stress balls to the emergency room at the local hospital. And then we looked at the smaller residential homes, the private adult foster care homes, and reached out. And we're hoping that we can continue to do that and get others to do that. And like I said, look around us. You know how you feel when somebody says hello or opens the door. So let's start doing that for those we know and those we don't know. Thank you, Mahesh. I hope that answered your question.
PID Jenny, one question I have, and it troubles me quite a lot. Talking about mental health can still be very uncomfortable in many communities. So, what can Lions do to help normalize these conversations and make people feel safe seeking help?
Oh, Lion Sunil, that's wonderful. You're right. And as Lion Lizzie said, my father was district governor back in the early 70s. And he really was raised where if you were having a down day, you just picked yourself up by your bootstraps and moved on. And luckily, in the last 20 years, we're realizing that sometimes that's just not always the case. It's still, like you stated, not a comfortable conversation, especially with Facebook, where all we show is that 0.3 seconds of happiness when we're together, and it doesn't show the rest of the 24 hours where it was a long day, it was 100 degrees out, you know, it doesn't show all the other side. So I really look to the Lions and the Leos of the world to take this educational piece and talk about it, post it where we can, put it in libraries, put it in, and I know I say bathrooms because I know we like to put things on store doors when we're walking in or out, but people don't stop to take the time to read that. Where when you're washing your hands in the restroom of restaurants or maybe rest areas, we have that few more seconds to read and to think and to reach out. And I think using our social media, I'm at that age where I absolutely use Facebook a lot more than the other social medias, but that is definitely where we can get our point across. TikToks, talking about the educational piece, encouraging those to hashtag talk about it, and just keep talking about it. The more we talk about it, the more it will become a part of everyone's conversation, and the more comfortable we'll all feel with it. Thank you, Lion Sunil.
Thank you.
PID Jenny, I have a question. We often hear that service heals the server. How have you seen service itself become a way for Lions to support emotional well-being, both for those we serve and for our members?
That is another great question. Has anybody ever gotten tired of going to meetings and then the next service project is coming up and you think, oh, I just want to stay home and kick my feet up and maybe read a book or watch a movie because I'm just tired? I had one of those days. And I thought, well, I'm the chairperson of this service project, so I better get going and get it done. The whole time we were setting up, I was feeling down. And then the first person to receive the service was a young boy who came running around the corner, too big of a jacket on, thin sweats in the middle of the winter, boots that didn't fit. And he had the biggest smile on his face and was so appreciative of what we were doing. And I really thought, if we don't serve another person for the rest of the day, he has made my day. So I've been doing a lot of thinking about that since that day. And I strongly believe that every service project we do, especially under our global causes, affects mental health. If you're hungry, it affects mental health. If your environment is not stable, it affects mental health. Natural disasters, vision, hearing, everything that we support in our global causes affects our mental health, affects our mental well-being. So as Lions, to be there, wearing the Lions logo shirt, wearing the vest, the jackets, that is a sign of comfort and a sign of help for so many people around the world. And Lion Izzy was sharing that she's in a newer club in her area in New Jersey, and a lot of people in that area haven't heard about the Lions yet. But after 2 years already, people are coming up and they're asking for assistance because the lion sign is their lion sign for assistance. And that's wonderful. Thank you,
Thank
Lion
you.
Izzy.
PID Jenny, we have observed this many times that when we have something new, sometimes we don't know how to do it. For example, when we got the childhood cancer as one of our core causes, many of our clubs did not know what kind of service that they can provide in that particular area. It is the same thing right now. Many clubs don't know what to do when it comes to the uh, the, uh, the service for the mental health. So what do you suggest that the clubs can do? An easy way to start.
I think another great question, Lion Mahesh. I think a good place to start maybe projects that you already do. Think of how you feel while you're providing the service project, and also think on how your service projects are accepted. Let's take that a step further. Would your club maybe like to do thank you cards to the local police or the ambulance drivers, EMT, maybe to the veterans, maybe to a veterans facility? Maybe they would like to make cookies and distribute them to someone somewhere with a little thank you note. Just sometimes the smallest service project has the biggest effect on people. So don't try to think of, oh my goodness, we need to have this big fair and we've got to invite all these therapists and whatnot. That may come, but that you can't do in a couple of days. And this week of mental health, wellness, and awareness is the time to do the small deeds, the small thank yous. What makes you feel happy probably makes a lot of other people in the world happy. Don't be afraid to make little business cards that have crisis line numbers on them. And having said that, our lions.usa.org, some of the information on there are business card resources, our national helpline resources, our local help resources. So start small and watch how it grows. There's even some Lions that are sitting up a little table on the corner with a couple of lawn chairs and saying, let's talk. I'm here for you. Now, we're not giving out professional advice. If we do feel that they need professional advice, we can always give them this information off of the business cards. But sometimes just saying hello is all the person needs to help brighten their day. We can always buy flowers and randomly walk around and hand them out and say, you are appreciated. The world is a better place because of you in it. Small things like that go a long way.
Thank you, PID Jenny. We have the QR code here that has the resources that PID Jenny was talking about. So please scan those and you can get those those business cards and the flyer. Also, if you have any questions, please write into the comment box so that we can ask those questions to PID Jenny. Let's continue.
I think one of the...
Jenny,
Sorry.
I have a question also. So my question is, are there any partnerships or resources from Lions International that clubs can tap into to build mental health awareness and support programs?
Yes. Thank you, Lion Izzy. Please feel free to go to lionsclubsinternational.org, search the mental health wellness, and there's going to be all kinds of resources there for you. And I think the biggest thing is just don't be afraid to look, because even over this weekend, we had a Lions meeting and a couple of Lions had the idea of handing out the flowers with a little "You're appreciated" card on it, or handing out cookies to neighbors, knocking on their door and just saying, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Nice to see you again. Or they weren't home and they just left them for you and said, from your neighbor, kind of a thing. So don't be afraid to just start, because once you start and you get talking with other Lions, it's going to build and build. And I know that during the rest of the week at some of the other sessions, we're going to talk about bringing in yoga instructors and different ways to take care of our mind and body. Today, my goal was just to talk with you get you to understand a little bit more about yourself. Like when you're having a down day, it's okay. But also little things that you can do to help others that may even make you feel better. So I do appreciate every lion that has taken the time, or Leo, or maybe even non-lion that's taken the time to attend our little session and learn just a little bit more about mental health and wellness and how to take care of ourselves.
Thank you.
PID Jenny, my turn again. So
All right.
our Leos and young adults, they face increasing pressures today. So what role can lions play in helping the youth build resilience and emotional strength?
Wow, I love this one, Lion Sunil. Thank you. I think the pressures are increased for the youth today because of social media. I was just talking with my daughter, who has our first grandchild, as Lion Izzy said, and our little grandson just turned 5 months old. And when my daughter was in school, social media was out there, but not like it is today. And my daughter just shared with me that down in Tennessee, an 11-year-old girl took her own life because of the bullying she was receiving. And I think a lot of us were bullied in school, but not to that extent. We got to go home and turn it off, right? And walk away. But what we can do is, as lions, we can start Leo clubs. Lions can have weekly sessions for the kids. We can contact the schools, become reading buddies, become that next generation to be there for them so that they know that there's even more people out there that care about them. We have Lions Quest through Lions Clubs International. Lions Quest is a 40-year-old program that is tried and true and is acknowledged by Harvard University as one of the top social skills programs in the world. This program, up until just a couple of years ago, was only in the schools. And as we know, our schools are getting more and more inundated with curriculum. It's getting more difficult for the teachers to have their day. So if we can get a Leo club started, we can start the Lions Quest program. Or we can always do a community group and do the Lions Quest program. We also have past international director Jerome Thompson in Alabama, who's been working through the court system with the diversion programs and working with children that come from homes that they may not have parents, where they haven't been taught how to handle their emotions or what is an appropriate social skill. So there's just so many things at so many levels. And I know that's one thing that I would love, love, love to get involved with is Lions Quest, but it's just not in my availability. And I have friends that are Lions and I'm working with them. And we're looking at a community kids group to turn into a Leo club to work with Lions Quest. So that's very exciting. Thank you for asking that very important question, Lion Sunil.
And now my turn. As a past international director and an aspiring leader, how do you personally approach mental wellness in your own leadership journey?
Thank you, Lion Izzy. Like I said today, it was gloomy out. I did a couple of things and I sat on the couch and watched a movie and did a little bit of knitting. I really had to work at okaying myself to have a mental health day, because I'm so used to being on the go and all the deadlines that it's hard to walk away when you still have 20 emails in your inbox. But it's okay to go through those emails, delete the junk, right? Take care of some of the important things, and decide which ones can wait until maybe the next day. So I think, have gotten pretty good at looking at my week, deciding what's going to be the most important, what's going to be the least important, and how am I going to make it all work. So I had a very good past international director mentor from Michigan, Esther Lamoth, who said that because she always got home from convention trips late Sunday nights, that she made Mondays her new Sundays. And she said, if she got up on Monday and didn't want to change out of her PJs, she didn't. And if she wanted to have a big bowl of popcorn for supper, she did. And so that's the way that I've approached it. When I can feel I'm getting really tired and I need that couple of extra minutes, I give myself permission and let go of the guilt. Let go of the guilt. We all have to do that for ourselves. Because if I don't take care of me and you don't take care of you, who's going to? So thank you for that wonderful question.
Thank you.
And finally, what message would you like to share with our viewers, especially Lions who are just beginning to explore how they can make an impact in this space?
How can I encourage you, especially the newer Lions, to make an impact? Oh, that's a good one. We all joined Lions for a reason, and it's probably because we wanted to do something good for our neighbors or our community. And I want to encourage every one of you to follow your passion. What would you like to see better in your neighborhood, in your community, or your world? Now, I've had the honor to travel the world and see different service projects. Like I said, the little boy who we served a few years back, up to being in India and helping hand out 5,000 lunches that were made for the local children by the Leo Club. Not all of us can just go out and hand out 5,000 lunches. So don't let that discourage you. Every one good deed helps someone. And for that one person you helped, it made a difference in their lives. So keep being you and keep following your passion and your heart.
Thank you so much, PID Jennifer, for sharing your insights, warmth, and passion with us today. Your words remind us that mental health is not just an issue, it is a shared responsibility and an opportunity to serve with empathy and understanding. We also thank all our viewers and fellow Lions for joining us and for your ongoing commitment to making a difference in your communities. Let's continue to listen, support, and stand together, because when we care for minds, we strengthen hearts. Thank you, everyone. With this, we'll close today's session. We'll see you in our next episode of Stronger Minds, Stronger Communities tomorrow at the same time. So tomorrow we'll bring to you the power of meditation. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Every day around the globe, a growing number of people face mental health challenges, impacting their sense of well-being. Mental health conditions affect 1 in 4 people in any 1 year. But no one should have to face this alone.
I was having a lot of nightmares from PTSD. I wouldn't go out of the house. I was basically a recluse. Now that I've got this dog, I'm not afraid anymore.
Lions and Leos improve mental health and well-being every day through service. Connecting with elderly, supporting youth, combating loneliness, and so much more. Human connection has always been at the heart of what we do. Our mental health and well-being initiative expands our service to raise awareness, educate communities, and advocate for positive change. Here are some ways to get involved. Reduce mental health stigma.
Are you being bullied? Try calling a parent, teacher, a neighbor, or a relative.
The focus is education and giving people the tools that they need to have better lives.
Support youth and the elderly.
We do meditation and also a group discussion. I call it the safe haven.
We're working to improve the mental health of our seniors.
Educate communities through partnerships and resources.
If we can get more awareness out there and more confidence by talking about the topic, that creates then a society where people are more able to look for support.
Raise awareness and educate about suicide prevention.
We decided then that we'd do something towards suicide prevention, maybe making people more aware of where they can go if they have suicidal thoughts.
Advocate for funding and legislative support.
We have to build relationships with people and explain to them who we are and what we're capable of doing in the future.
We can do more together. So reach out to your community. Organize and participate in service activities for mental health and well-being. Invite others to volunteer. Doing good feels good and is good for your well-being too. Learn more and access resources at lionsclubs.org/mental-health.